It's some official stimulus, guys. In today's fourth stimulus check update, President Biden announcing their $1.75 trillion stimulus framework, all the details, what's in the deal, and a surprise statement from former President Barack Obama about all of it. Is it finally going to happen? What's up, guys? Glad to have you here. It's the Ron Yates channel where we cover everything stimulus, the U.S. economy, stock market, the housing market updates, cryptocurrencies, and side hustles. Basically, if it's about money, we got you covered here. So go ahead and join the family, hit the subscribe button, and tap the notification bell, because guess what? If you don't tap the notification bell, you will not know if I release any new videos and content. Oh, and I always want to thank you guys for always hitting that like button. I really appreciate the support. Can't thank you enough. Let's go ahead and jump in. And speaking of, holidays are right around the corner, guys. Let's see what Biden got for us in his big announcement about the stimulus package framework.
Today, I'm pleased to announce that after months of tough and thoughtful negotiations, I know we have a historic economic framework. We spent hours and hours and hours over months and months working on this. No one got everything they wanted, including me. But that's what compromise is. That's consensus. And that's what I ran on.
What do you guys think about this? In fact, what would you tell Biden if he were right in front of you right now? Let's get a conversation going down below. Drop me a quick comment so we can see where everyone thinks about how Biden is doing so far. Now, as for the speech, definitely very inspiring, but not much detail there. So let me fill you in. Here's what's in it and what's out of President Biden's latest stimulus package. All right, so first, what's in the package? So you got free preschool for 3 and 4-year-olds and childcare. That's about $400 billion to provide free preschool for all 3 and 4-year-olds. Now, according to the White House, that's going to cover over 6 million children, as well as funds for affordable childcare. Estimates say that this money would be good for about 6 years. It'll also help you guys limit your childcare costs to no more than 7% of your income. They say that this will cover families earning up to 250% of the state median income. They also mentioned that parents must be working, seeking work, or in training, or have some kind of serious health issue. Earned income tax credits, child tax enhancements for 1 year. They were hoping to make this one permanent at first. In fact, a lot of people were hoping to. But hey, this is still an extension that's going to net us about $300 per month per child under the age of 6, and $250 per month for children between the ages of 6 and 17 years old. So still not too bad. The Earned Income Tax Credit gives roughly 17 million low-wage workers up to $1,100, so that's pretty good too. Clean Energy Tax Credits. It may be time for some home remodeling, guys. Looks like they allocated $320 billion for clean energy tax credits to apply to transmission, storage, manufacturing, residential homes, passenger vehicles, and commercial vehicles. Let me repeat that. Tax credits for residential homes. Now, I'm pretty sure it'll cover part, if not the whole, of your renovation or repair cost projects if you angle it right. I'm just saying. But let's just wait on further details. On top of that, the framework overall includes $500 billion in climate provisions. Now, that involves $105 billion for environmental resilience to address the impacts of extreme weather events and provide for a civilian climate corps, and $130 billion for renewable energy development and procurement of the federal government to be the primary buyer of next-generation renewable technologies. Next, expansion of healthcare coverage. Now, this comes in the form of the ACA premium credits expansion. It says here the bill would reduce premiums for over 9 million Americans by an average of $600 per person annually. It also expands coverage to the poor by offering 4 years of subsidized private health insurance on the Affordable Care Act, exchanges for people with lower incomes living in states that did not expand Medicare under the healthcare law. Now, if you've ever experienced the coverage gap of living in a non-expansion state but making too much money to qualify for Medicaid, this is good news for you. They're expanding the free premiums for you guys too. That covers 4 million people right there. Expand Medicare to include hearing benefits for seniors. Yep, just hearing, guys. No dental, no vision. More on that in a bit. HBCU and Pell Grant funding. Says here the framework increases the maximum Pell Grant by $550 for more than 5 million students enrolled in public and private colleges, and expand access for undocumented immigrants, or more commonly known as Dreamers. It also includes new funding for infrastructure and financial aid to low-income students in historically black colleges and universities, as well as tribal colleges and universities and minority-serving institutions. Oh, and then there's free school meals too. Now, if you guys remember, this can translate into some stimulus money right into your pocket, just like what happened during the pandemic and school from home classes. But let's wait for more details on that in the next few days. $100 billion for immigration, $100 billion to reduce immigration backlogs, to expand legal representation, and improve the asylum and border processing system. Now, unfortunately, some parts didn't fly with the Senate parliamentarian, like overhauling the system or providing a path of citizenship for undocumented communities. We're going to have to see those in separate bills later on, I think. $150 billion for affordable housing. The framework includes $150 billion in investments for affordable housing. The latest details say that this includes down payment assistance for first-generation home buyers, proposals to provide housing choice vouchers to thousands, and funding to create and rehabilitate millions of affordable housing units. Taxes on corporations. Says here the framework would include a 15% minimum tax for corporations, a 1% surcharge on stock buybacks, and international tax changes that they got other countries to sign off on. It would also include a surtax on the incomes of multimillionaires and billionaires and investments in the IRS enforcement. Basically, they're giving teeth to the IRS to chase down after the wealthy. Now, this should cover the $2 trillion that they're hoping to use over the next 10 years. I hope Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are watching this. Okay, so now let's go into what's not in the bill. Hold on to your seats, guys. It's going to get rough. Paid family leave? Ouch. They started with 12 weeks of parental and medical leave, then they trimmed it down to 4. Now we have 0 paid family leave. They removed it altogether as a concession made by Joe Manchin. But advocates are expected to continue lobbying him. Not skipping a beat, Bernie Sanders showed us the big picture right here. At the top, at 182 days of leave, all the way down to 0 for the US. Ouch, again. That really hurts. Like Bernie said, it's time we end the international embarrassment and finally guarantee paid family and medical leave in this country.
Now, I understand that the pharmaceutical industry owns the Republican Party. I got that. And I understand that there will not be one Republican in the Senate who has the guts to stand up for his or her constituents and lower the cost of prescription drugs. Let's be clear. Over the last 20 years, the pharmaceutical industry has spent well over $4 billion on lobbying and hundreds and hundreds of millions more on campaign contributions, trying to make sure that we do not lower the cost of prescription drugs. And that is what this struggle is about. They own the United States Congress, and that is why when you walk into a pharmacy and you find that the price of your medicine has doubled, it's because they can do anything they want to do. They write the laws. These guys year after year make outrageous profits. Their CEOs get extraordinary compensation benefits. And they do that by charging us by far the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. Well, those days are coming to an end. We are going to demand that Medicare start negotiating prescription drugs with the pharmaceutical industry. And the question we face right now is, at this moment, do we have the courage to keep faith with the American people and show them that their democracy, in fact, can work for them and not just powerful special interests?
Next, free community college is free no more. CNN reported this week that free community college is still a priority for Biden, even if it's on hold for the time being. First Lady Jill Biden has long been an advocate for community colleges. She even taught in community colleges. Many people are definitely disappointed about this apparent turnaround. In fact, 32 organizations and advocacy groups signed on to a joint statement last week urging the White House and Congress to keep pushing for the free community college provision. They said if emerging reports of the Biden administration abandoning tuition-free community college are true, it would be a massive blow to 8 million students who have benefited. President Biden would urge his fellow Democrats to restore the tuition-free community college proposal to keep his promises and maintain voters, faith that democracy can improve their lives. Then there's Medicare for dental and vision. So, no Medicare for dental or vision just yet. President Biden acknowledged last week that using the spending bill to expand Medicare to cover hearing, vision, and dental was a reach, given the pushback from Senator Joe Manchin and Sinema. But Democrats were working until midweek to try to figure out a way to get a voucher for dental into the bill, which was meant to be a temporary fix until the party could get through the long-term benefit off the ground. A House bill had been proposed phasing in the dental benefit in 2028, so we're not done quite yet, guys. Drug pricing. Now, this is a big one here. They dropped the part that would allow Medicare to negotiate lower prescription drug prices. Now, according to a senior administration official, there was just not enough votes among Democrats to pass the policy. Senator Kyrsten Sinema reached a deal with the White House on a prescription drug plan, but it's currently not in the framework amid progressive skepticism. So let's just see how that shakes out. Billionaire tax. Too bad about this one. Democrats dropped a billionaire tax pitched by Senate Finance Committee Chairman Ron Wyden and Senator Elizabeth Warren that would have targeted unrealized capital gains. They floated this idea this week when the party had to scramble to figure out a way to pay for the deal and to lock in a framework before Biden's trip. The proposal would have taxed people with $1 billion in assets or $100 million in income for 3 consecutive years. Now, unfortunately, it did have some pushback from Manchin and other Democratic senators, including Senator Mark Warner. Apparently, they were non-committal as they waited to see the details. Clean Electricity Performance Program. Financial incentives for electric utilities to transition away from fossil fuels was not included in the framework. It was seen as the best way to reduce U.S. emissions, but was opposed by Manchin. Still, Democratic climate hawks in the Senate, like Wyden, say that there are alternative means to achieve programs' aims, even if it is dropped from the package. Biden said that the framework includes historic investments in our nation and in our people. Specifically, they said it'll set the U.S. on course to meet its climate goals, create millions of good-paying jobs, enable more Americans to join and remain in the labor force, and grow our economy from the bottom up and the middle out. Now, agreeing with him on this is former President Barack Obama. After Biden made his speech, Obama released an official statement saying, "In a country as large and diverse as ours, progress can often feel frustrating and slow, with small victories accompanied by frequent setbacks. But once in a while, it's still possible to take a giant leap forward." He pretty much said the same thing as Biden. The Build Back Better framework doesn't contain everything that the president proposed and that some had hoped for. But that's the nature of progress in a democracy. The good news is that it represents the best chance we've had in years to build on the progress that we've made during my administration and address some of the most urgent challenges of our time. He ends it with some praise for his former tag team partner in the White House. Quote, "I'm grateful to President Biden, Democrats in Congress, and everyone who raised their voice and put their faith in government to do big things," he added. The fight continues, but today's landmark agreement is an important step on our long-term journey to live up to the highest ideals. Me, I gotta say, this looks like Biden wanted to announce a big deal before he flies off to meet with other world leaders this week. We're definitely gonna see more details on this in my later updates. But let's see how this gets fine-tuned after all sides have had their say. Don't miss out, guys. Hit the subscribe button now and tap that notification bell. That way you won't miss out on a single update or video. Did you have any questions about this one? Drop me a comment down below so I can get back to you soon. Definitely more coming soon, you guys. This was just a taste of our 4th stimulus check update for today. President Biden announcing their $1.75 trillion stimulus framework, what's in it, what's out of the bill, and surprise, surprise, a special statement, care of former President Barack Obama. Let's see how this shapes out in the coming videos.